Okay, so are you ready to like dive deep today?
Always up for a deep dive.
Right on. So this one, I found this article and the title's kind of bold. It's like three simple rules for life.
Mm.
Like just three, you've got it all figured out. So yeah, I was intrigued, but also a little skeptical.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but I figured we could unpack it a bit, see if there's anything to these rules. The author is Shawn Wondunna-Foley,
Okay.
and it's from a website called innerway.com/ye.au.
Interesting.
So should we jump into rule number one?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so rule number one is take action towards your desires.
Hmm.
Yeah, so like right off the bat, it's about doing something, not just dreaming about it.
I think that's a really powerful place to start. So much of achieving anything really comes down to taking that first step.
That's true. Like
Yeah.
it's easy to get stuck in that like planning phase or the someday I'll do that phase.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's where I think this rule is so valuable. It's a reminder that action, even if it's a small step, is what bridges the gap between wanting something and actually having it.
I've heard this analogy before about like writing a novel. It's like you don't have to write the whole thing at once. Just write one sentence a day and eventually you'll have a book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about that consistency, right?
Yeah.
Taking those small actions consistently builds momentum, and that can be so motivating. It's like you're proving to yourself that you're serious about your desires, and that in turn fuels your belief that you can actually achieve them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. It's like a positive feedback loop or something.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about taking action. But what about when we're afraid to even ask for what we want?
Right.
Which brings us to rule number two. Ask for what you want.
Mm, that's a good one.
Yeah, again, it seems so simple on the surface, but I think there's a lot to unpack there.
Absolutely. I think there's a real vulnerability in asking, right? We
Right.
worry about being rejected, or maybe we've been told that it's not okay to ask for too much.
Yeah, it can be scary to put yourself out there like that.
It can. But the thing is, if you don't ask, you're almost guaranteeing a no. You're closing doors before you even know what's behind them.
I think it's about recognizing that sometimes you have to create opportunities. You can't just wait for them to come to you.
You've got it. And even beyond just getting a yes, asking for what you want can be so clarifying. It helps you get clear on your own desires, and it strengthens your communication skills.
This actually reminds me of when I was trying to get a promotion at work. I was really hesitant to like directly ask for it.
Yeah.
But a mentor of mine, she encouraged me to just have an open conversation with my manager.
Good advice.
Yeah. And it was honestly a little uncomfortable at first, but it actually led to a really great discussion about my goals and, what I wanted to achieve.
Mm.
And in the end, it helped me get that promotion.
That's a great example of how asking, even when it feels difficult, can open up new possibilities.
Right. So we've covered taking action and asking for what you want. So I
Yeah.
guess that leaves us with rule number three, which is step up and move forward. So how do you see this rule connecting to the first two?
Well, I think it's the natural progression, right? You've taken action, you've asked for what you want, and now it's about really stepping into your full potential. It's about pushing past your comfort zone, embracing uncertainty, and taking those leaps of faith that lead to growth.
It makes me think about like those big life changes, like changing careers or starting a business or even pursuing a creative passion. Those things all require you to step up in a big way.
Absolutely. And often it's in those moments of stepping up that we discover our true strength and resilience. We realize that we're capable of so much more than we thought.
That's so true. So to all our listeners out there, I want to challenge you to think about one area in your life where you could step up today. What's one small action, even a tiny one, that would push you a little outside your comfort zone and move you closer to something you desire?
That's a great question to consider. Remember, growth doesn't always require massive leaps. Sometimes the most significant changes come from those small intentional steps forward.
Okay, so let's recap these three simple rules for life. Take action, ask for what you want, and step up to embrace the challenges and the opportunities that come your way.
As a final thought, I'd like to leave you with this. What one action, no matter how small, will you take today to move towards a desire that you hold in your heart? Because remember, even the seemingly insignificant choices can set you on a path to creating a life that truly reflects your aspirations.
Such great advice. We'll leave you to ponder that until next time.
See you then.